All right, let's cut right to the chase. How do we hit the driver with speed and power and still be accurate? Piece number one, we need a little bit of a wider stance. A lot of times you'll hear players talking about, or coaches or whoever, talking about narrowing up that stance. That way it's easier to rotate coming back and through. Now that's only the case if your feet stay flat on the ground. So if my feet are close together, they stay flat on the ground. Now it is easier to rotate back and through if I'm here versus if they stay flat on the ground here. Problem is, in the golf swing, our feet don't stay flat on the ground. As we come through, that right heel comes up, that allows our heels to rotate. And you can see I could even take this big wide stance, this big base, and I could really rotate my hips a ton by doing that in the golf swing. So let's put this to the test. If a wider swing is better for power, we should be able to make a swing and see the power go up. First, let's take a narrow swing here. So I'm gonna exaggerate, really exaggerate for this test. And I'm just gonna have a really narrow stance. I'm gonna try to hit this ball as hard as I can. I have got a ton of great videos coming out for you this year, and I don't want you to miss out. Now, the only way you're gonna see my latest releases is if you click that subscribe button down below. Go ahead and click that right now. Hit the thumbs up button, that really helps us out, and post your comments. I would love to hear from you. And it's very tough. I feel like I'm really fighting my feet to grab some friction and some power from the ground. I still generated a pretty decent amount of swing speed. Tough to control, 107 miles an hour, 235 carry, 256 total. Now let's go ahead and hit one with a wider stance. So obviously we can see that that's not going to be very tough to beat those numbers given what I usually swing, but let's really exaggerate it here. Again, go to the extreme so we can feel this. Now I can really feel like I grab into the ground and rotate my hips. Again, that right foot has to come off the ground to allow that to happen, but that happens in every great golf swing. So here, let's try to really swing one hard. There we go, much better. A little thin on the face. We can see there that's much more swing speed, much more distance. Even though that wouldn't normally be the way I would swing the golf club. Jumped up to 117 and 275 total. Not bad for a miss hit there. So that's piece number one. Grab a golf club and do this for me. Start out with a very narrow stance and swing as hard as you can. You're gonna find it incredibly difficult. Go wider and wider and wider until you feel really powerful. And then keep on going until you feel like you're so wide, now it is a little bit tougher to move through the shot. And then narrow that down again. So test this out to find your most powerful stance width. It's easy for somebody to say, okay, we need to be shoulder width, but if I make it a little wider than shoulder width and I pick up 10 or 15 yards, you better believe I'm gonna swing like this. I'm gonna find the way that works best for me, given my own body type and my own stature. So play around with stance widths and you'll start to find a sweet spot there where you feel like you get tons of power and you can really crank that driver. Now once we have this powerful base, we're ready to move into the actual drill here, which is going to help us to leverage the ground and really get the power from the body. Okay, so this drill is really going to help me to rotate the big segments of my body, my legs, my hips, my shoulders, and generate a lot of power from that. All I'm going to do is take the grip with my left hand only. I'm going to bring it over here, add my right hand on it, and I'm going to split this grip apart by about shoulder width or so. A little bit wider and narrow doesn't really make much difference. The right hand's going to go on there, underhand. Now from here, I'm going to work on loading up my body. So I'm going to really feel like I'm loading up as far back as I can go. Again, everybody's going to be a little bit different based on your flexibility. Feel like you loosen up that left heel a little bit to get those hips to rotate. Really load up into the backswing. So that's going to help to stretch you out and feel like you're really getting wound up, just like you see with the top pros. If you're a little bit tighter and you can only go to here, that's completely fine. Just go as far as you can to get the most power that you have given your own individual range of motion. Now from there, as I work on this downswing, I want to feel like I'm coming down on plane. So I don't want to come down over the top like this and slice across the ball. I don't want to come back way inside like this. Let's get really wound up and then come down on plane, and through impact, what I want you to do is feel like a hockey shot. I don't play hockey, but so I apologize for people that do play hockey if I'm describing this wrong. But feel like this is a hockey shot. And I want you to take that right foot and drive through there and feel like you're gonna press through with the right side of your body. So I'm taking the right side of my body and I'm really getting some power into that swing this way. So as I come on through, I'm really feel like I'm driving the right side of my body, my hip, my shoulder, my arms are coming through with some speed, and that's going to allow me to get the speed into this club. That's going to make sure that I don't decelerate and I really keep everything working through the golf shot. Now the wrong way to do this, and where I see players lose a lot of speed, is they'll keep their body still. They'll start down and go all hands and arms and flip because my body's not moving. If I can rotate my body on through, now I can keep that momentum moving through the golf ball. So again, easy to say, let's just put it to the test, find out for ourselves. On this one, I'm gonna feel like I keep my lower body very still, not very engaged, the opposite of what we just did in that drill. So I'm not gonna not really load up in the backswing, and I'm not gonna turn on through in the downswing. So watch my legs on this swing. Again, I got a lot of whip from my hands and arms. Not gonna be very accurate with that one. That was not gonna be the best shot. Went over into the left rough barely, and my swing speed was 103.9, 258 total distance. So I hit it pretty well considering my low swing speed, but I can do a lot better than that, and you can too. I'm gonna go ahead and do this drill again 4 or 5 times, get the feeling there, really driving through the shot. Let's get that same sensation in the drive. Let's see if we can pick up a little bit of distance. There we go, much better. Right down the left side of the fairway. Let's see what my club head speed and my distance went up to. So 103 on the one before. I'm all the way up to 115.4, 291.9 total distance. So really focus on getting wound up with that split grip. That really helps you do that. And then from there, use those legs, use that lower body to rotate on through to build your swing speed. So what is this drill that we just did? What is it really doing for you? What it's doing is allowing you to rotate your body in the backswing. And the only way I can get really good club head speed is to load up the hips, the shoulders, the arms. Having that big wide stable stance is gonna help with that. And then as I come on through, rotating all the way through to that full finish, getting those legs active to make that to happen. Well, that's what we call the power turn in the Top Speed Golf system. You can take this drill today. This is really gonna help you to get started on this power turn. But if you wanna ingrain that, you want your body to work to where you don't even have to think about it. You just grab a club, you swing, and it happens. You're gonna wanna watch this next video where I introduce to you what the power turn is all about. Go ahead and click the link in the iCard that pops up on your screen, the link down below in the description. You'll get instant access to that video. You'll start hitting it farther. You'll start feeling more powerful when you're over top of your drives, and you're gonna have a blast. Let's go and get started. The correct technique, we can all hit it with really good distance without a lot of muscular effort. And it all starts out, the very first thing you have to do is get a good powerful turn to load up the body. And it's not only in golf, but in all sports we have to rotate the body. At least 90 degrees with the shoulders as you swing to the top. Preferably, we can go even a little bit past 90 to really get loaded up. That's gonna allow us to have a lot of power. So we don't just have to look at golf for this. Let's actually look at other sports. They're rotating their body, then they're coming forward. So we have to get that load. We have to get this big shoulder turn to be able to create power in the golf swing. So in this series of videos, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. That's one of the first keys to getting power, and we're all gonna get at least a 90-degree turn, if not more than that. I think you'll be surprised at what you can do. So let's go ahead and get started with the next series of videos, and I'm gonna show you how to get this big, powerful turn. All right, guys, so before we go, let's take a look at this in action with some of the top pros. Now here we're looking at Adam Scott, and you're gonna see as he rotates to the top, good full shoulder turn. This is pretty typical of what I see with the top pros, a little past 90. Those guys are working on their flexibility, so sometimes they can get to 100 or even 110 degrees.